Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about why both vegans and carnivores are absurd cults and they have no place in fitness. They are purely weird ideologies. So when I say that, what we need to be extremely clear on, I am not talking about high carb versus low carb. I'm not talking about, again, macronutrients at all really in this context. Okay, so I want to be clear on that. I think high carb diets and low carb diets can both work. I think high fat diets and low fat diets can both have their place. And I think there's a lot to be said for knowing what your goals are, how you respond to these different foods, what you're trying to do. That's not the point at all. So before people chime in, you'll get some of the, like the keto wars or whatever, will come in and say, well, carbohydrates, shut up. We're not talking about that. You can eat 15 pounds of vegetables a day, that's hyperbole, I'm not serious, and still be on a low carb diet. So shut up, that's not what we're saying. So let's get over and talk about the ridiculousness of it. When you look at all the fittest people on earth, you look at all the best athletes on earth, everyone else, okay, they're all omnivores. In fact, there's a focus towards being cooked food omnivores with relatively little heavily refined foods, okay? We need to be clear on that. The fittest people on earth and the most athletic people on earth in general tend to be omnivores who don't eat very much processed food. That is very, very straightforward. So in other words, it's usually plenty of meat, dairy, vegetables, fruits, things like that. Those are normal for everyone who's amazing. Almost everyone who is extremely healthy, all demographics that are healthy, all populations that are healthy, most of your best athletes all over the face of the earth. That is the norm. In fact, vegans and carnivores actually struggle. As a general rule, they struggle to be elite athletes. Both groups do, on an extremely serious level. And considering the number of, say, vegans that are out there, you think they could produce more than what they're producing, as it's pretty bad. Like literally the strongest vegan on earth is a mid-tier strongman. He's not even qualified really to be at world level. So there's your context. Carnivores, kind of the same thing. They run into even worse problems athletically. They're absurd. But when it comes to health and fitness, we don't see either of these groups represented. We don't see them. Okay? There are populations that eat significant amounts of meat that are extremely long-lived and healthy. All of them eat lots of vegetables. We need to be clear on that. So anytime you have the crazy carnivores claiming, well, all these vegetables and plant poisons are causing a problem, that is not represented in any form of data. That is purely a cult. When you look at all the longest lived, healthiest populations on earth, they all eat lots of vegetables. All of them, every single last group, without fail. Vegetable intake, as it scales upward, is linked with reducing all-cause mortality in a non-linear fashion. In other words, groups of people who eat the most vegetables tend to have the lowest all-cause mortality. So if these were a problem, we would see it represented in the data. So when they're saying this, keep in mind they are a cult and they are literally effing insane. They are insane. It's not based on reality. And when you have any of them who do point, well, these oxalates or these phthalates, and then you go look at what all the best researchers point out, they're like, this is nonsense. In fact, any of their concerns, just quit eating your food raw. That's it. If you have problems with these issues, just cook your food. Done. It completely resolves every last argument the carnivores have. Like any tiny bit of evidence that they have for anything gets thrown out the window as soon as you start cooking food. It's almost as if our species thrived as cooked food eaters. Oh, wait, they did. The data is overwhelming. The anthropology on this is overwhelming. Cooking food is largely responsible, including cooked meat, is largely responsible for us developing the brain capacity that we have, for our ability to thrive on every continent. There's your solution. Quit trying to eat raw beans. And if you have problems with kidney stones or whatever, you have oxalates, maybe steam your spinach or cook it. Cook your broccoli. Done. It completely removes the entire problem. And then you get all the amazing, ridiculously high health benefits. So these people are absolute clowns. And they recommend eating processed food. The same people, butter is not processed food. Butter is a junk processed food. Bacon is up there too. Okay? The data shows it. The nutrition value of these foods show it. They're complete ass clowns. These people are complete ignoramus ass clowns. Treat them accordingly. Every last one of them, including the dumbasses who follow them. All right, vegans. Kooky crazy cult detached from reality regarding morality. And I get it. I understand they're ethical vegans and I can respect that, but they get kooky with it. It's impractical. It's improbable. Humans have always eaten meat. We thrive on high meat diets. Again, cooked meat, largely responsible for development, just like we cook vegetables, largely responsible for the development of our brain capacity. People who often follow vegan diets have all sorts of deficiencies. They struggle to meet their basic needs. And then when we come over to being athletes, they struggle with protein quality, protein sufficiency to maximize body composition. And that isn't just opinion anymore. That has been found in the lab. We literally have even fairly recent studies done on a whole group of women, to which what happened? They took women who were experienced lifters already, who had years of training. They put them on a structured vegan diet that tried to get the protein reasonably high, written by registered dietitians. All of them lost muscle. Every one of them lost muscle tissue. Okay, it's a problem. It's a problem, and it's built upon a cult that has a lot of strange ideas regarding the specifics of animal suffering and everything else. And again, they're delusional regarding how much they think they're reducing it. I would almost say to them, if you wanted to minimize the total number of animals suffering, maybe just eat a lot of grass-fed beef. Be picky on what plants you actually eat. Look at how many animals are killed in the yield of it. I mean, so again, they're detached from reality. Their diets can be problematic, right? You can have a lot of deficiencies. And again, I want to point out, not one of those longest lived societies on earth are vegans, okay? They're not. So from a health perspective, from a fitness perspective, it's ludicrous also. And I get it. It's their own ethics, and that's fine. If they want to keep it purely ethical, then fine, keep it ethical. I'm okay with that. You're allowed to have the ethics that you want to have. But don't pretend that you're going to maximize fitness. Don't pretend that you're going to maximize body composition or athleticism, because they do struggle. They struggle as a demographic out of almost any diet. They have the most struggles in terms of becoming a serious, amazing athletes, bodybuilders, other things, powerlifters. They struggle more than any other diet group, period. And we know why. These cults have no place in fitness. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.